Losing a loved one is heart-wrenching, and there's some things that we really need to know as we go through that grieving process. And part of it is we tend to want to blame ourselves, and we have to get past that if we ever want to heal. Blaming ourselves only prolongs the grieving process because we want to say, but what if I would have done this? But if I only would have done that? So even though grief counseling talks about there's 5 stages of grief, in my situation, I say there was 6 stages because number 6 was guilt. Those stages of grief tend to be denial. We deny why or that it did happen. There's bargaining, back and forth in our mind of situations that could have been different. What if it hadn't happened? There's anger, angry at the fact that our loved one is gone, and especially if it was in an auto accident and somebody else was to blame. We tend to be so angry with that person or that situation. The other one is depression. Of course, that is expected for us to actually sink into a depression because we now have a void in our life. And then the 5th one is acceptance. Finally, we accept the fact that they're gone. Doesn't mean that we're healed. It just means we finally come to that terms that nothing we do is going to bring them back. My 6th one was guilt. And I had to convince myself I was not to blame. I did a longer video about the 7 things that we should know as we're going through grief and guilt. And then the 3 C's that help us to heal. I added the link below, so check that out and find out the 7 things that you should know about grieving and the 3 C's that might help you to heal a little bit quicker. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. And if you want to follow along, hit the subscribe button and always feel free to comment in the sections below.